And we're back with some more Timberborn. And today, I know it's supposed to be RimWorld, but you know, I wanted to finish out this farming platform thing at the back, and it's niggling at my brain, so I can't stop. Apologies. We'll be back to RimWorld tomorrow. Anyway, over here we're putting in a very large stairs. The reason for the stairs, so we can get up and build this entire settlement or farming area. You know what? It doesn't make a difference. We'll build it first. We'll worry about what we call it later. What we're going to try and do here is use some of these bridges. I think a 5 bridge. I think, yeah, this looks about right. We'll go with you. If we just say chuck one of those in right about. Nope. Damn it! Can we not put it on this? Oh, it can't be on a path. That could be problematic. And how are we supposed to get some sort of bridge off of this to where we need to go? Might have to wait till we get to the top. Yes, indeed. I was hoping we could get started a little bit earlier, but no. So, yeah, somewhere up there. Once we get to the top, we can start putting a bridge out. This is going to be stupid. Thing is, beavers can build from the top down infinitely, so that's why we want to try and get as high up as possible. That way we can build this whole thing, sort of a little scaffolding for it all in one fell swoop without having to do too much else. And just about... Oh, seriously? Smoko? Already? Damn it. They were so close to finishing this. And... done. Excellent. Now, what should happen, in theory, is this should start building this dirt from the bottom all the way up to the top. And then once we get that at the top done, we can start filling out the bottom. We'll see how this works, though. Okay, this appears to be working. Excellent. Now, are you going to be waiting for materials? It's too far from district and cannot be reached. Okay, so we're going to need to build even further out to get more of this. That could be very possible. I suppose we could build the stairs down, couldn't we? Yes, we could. This is so dumb. If we did platforms, we could probably go out further. But you know what? We're going to make sure that we can get on top, and then we're just going to sort of daisy chain across. This is not going to be the most elegant solution, but we have a little bit of time to play with. Hopefully our potatoes start coming in soon. We've got a crop of spuds over here and a crop of carrots over here. And they should hopefully keep our food up. We used to have over 2,000 food, but now it's been going down quite steadily. This new crop, though, should take us over the top. This is a very slow and meticulous process, though. If we, say, accidentally were to do something like this and put blocks over here, what happens if they build those blocks first? The blocks below it can't be built. They can only build through wood. If they get blocked off by dirt, they can't build through it. So that means we have to be super careful here to make sure that we don't build over anything. Otherwise, we'll have to dynamite it. And that would also be inconvenient. In fact, in the meantime, yeah, we're stockpiling explosives in the background. That's good. We want to do a major dam enlargement after this. Our population has also been increased quite substantially. And, yeah, we're almost up to, what? We only need 2 more houses to go over the 100 mark. We're good for now. We have almost got the first pillar done, and then we can start moving down along it and across to the center. This will require us to put a block in the middle of this, which will probably decrease the irrigation rates we're getting, but that's okay. That's okay. We'll lose a little bit of crops, but right now, I think our food's doing okay. We're up to 1.7k. If we get it up to 2 or 3k, I'd be much happier. Those spindly little supports really do not look like they can hold up all that dirt. What's the bets they kind of get rid of a bunch of this? Because seriously... I think this looks entirely bizarre. I love the fact that you can build this way and do weird stuff like cramming those deep supplies into like sky rises, but it just looks so bizarre. Slow and steady. Slow and steady. We got a little bit of a drought going on at the moment, but yeah, I think we got enough water. This thing hasn't been put to a real test yet. It'll be interesting to see what happens when we hit about a 30-day drought. I think we have lots of extra water, but then again, we have gone up quite a bit in terms of population since then. We have 24 children right now and 60 adults. That's 84 beavers just wandering around the place. That is ridiculous. I just realized I did something stupid. The pillars aren't aligned. Something's off. For example, those 2 pillars should be in line. What did I do? Because this is supposed to be touching... no. Nope. We can fix this. It's off by just a few tiles. So this needs to be moved all the way over 1 tile to the left. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to... You know what? It's fine. We can salvage this. It's not the end of the world. It'll just be a minor inconvenience. All right, after a bit of experimenting with the downstairs, we've got ourselves some renovations we can do that can kind of make this work. Okay, we blast the top levels off. Now that leaves us with, because of the way we use the dynamite, we can now go like this. Put those two there. We need to get this lower skirting done. You need to be turned that direction, so boom. And I think that's it. That should we get most of the downstairs. The only ones we're going to be missing is the one beneath this. Beneath this block, we can't actually get that one underneath it. But once we've finished off these sides, we blast the middle one, like we're going to do down here. 1 second. Perfect. And now they can access that block below to build it. And then once they build that, we fill it in. And done. So just lots of random renovations, but we can fix the whole thing. And now it's connected up to our stairs, so the beavers can access every single level. Despite the setbacks, we're almost done with the first pillar, which is good to know. Over here, yeah, the water got low, but we didn't actually drain during that drought. We probably do need some more, though. That actually did get quite low. And that wasn't a full length one either. But on the bright side, we have 423 explosives in storage, so I think we'll be fine for a while. This place entirely dry out. Wow. I think we actually drained all of this the last time. Oops. Well, that just means our explosive factories will now be back up and running and pumping out at full capacity. And over here, I am going to see if we can't get this finished a little bit smarter, hopefully. What I kind of want to do is build across here, get all the way up to the top. That'll allow us to get the water tank on top, and then we can do whatever we want with the bottom layers. To help with construction and speed up transit times, because they're a little bit slow because of the distance. You can tell with the red line that it's a little bit slow getting there. We're going to put in a zipline station at the top. Zipline station will allow the little beavers to pop up and down really quickly, and it puts them closer to the logs, the planks, all of the storage stuff. So hopefully this will make the construction just that little bit faster. When they finish it, anyone want to finish that out? This is a weirdly fun little puzzle game of trying to build this up without doing anything too stupid to block it up. We've even got a little bridge across. You know what? It's fine. I think we've got this. It's just a case of getting the bits we need where we want them. And what I've done is I've basically put a cross section over here. We can replace that with a dirt tile later. But for now, what we're trying to do is just get up to the top so we can put the water on the top. And that way we can get rid of that water tank at the bottom, freeing up the space. And once that's in place, that means the bottom farming is locked in, and then the next 3 levels are then free to be expanded out with minor difficulties, hopefully. But this allows the beavers to crawl on top of this sector, which makes building it that much faster. We don't have to wait for them to come up here. Okay, they do have to come up here a bit. I suppose we could put in a second transport link. No. It's fine. We got plenty of beavers, and we can manage this. This looks like a weird spider or something, trying to, spread its claws all over the ground. But no, there is method to this madness. Oh, I forgot to put in the water tank. Hey, we'll stick in a quick water tank on top of there before we start expanding out any further. I'd like to get floor 2 ready to go, namely because I want to cover it in oaks. Oh, and we can't go any higher than this. Well, wait, no, let me rephrase. You can go quite a bit higher so long as you're willing to go with just wood. So, for example, you could go quite a bit higher. There you go. You could go exactly that high, but there seems to be a limit on terrain. So this one here, that's it. 2 tiles extra for the dirt, and you know what? Checking my notes, dirt can go 22 tiles high above foundation, foundation being the bottom layer here, and buildings can go 33. So it's 22 for dirt, 33 for buildings, as in wood and things like that. Just limits you in terms of how far up you can put these very handy dirt blocks, because dirt blocks are just the best. The fact that they allow you to build out sideways for basically dirt is incredibly cost efficient. Otherwise, you'd have to buy these things overhangs. Overhangs allow you to go to right angles, sort of like these bridges, but they cost steel and you can build on top of them. Problem is, we don't have that much steel. I mean, we definitely do have some steel, but we don't have enough that we can start throwing that about the place. There we go. Now we can bring water up here, dump it on top, and that'll fertilize everything at the bottom. And you are no longer necessary. I'm going to start pouring water. Yes, there we go. Now, These are not connected to these bridges, so we're going to have to hook them up. That'll be the next thing we connect, which will probably be this sector. Let's see, I think we can actually manage to connect this just now. You should go there, 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 something like that. And then we can connect you up to that. Perfect. And that should spread the green to the next tile over. If I had this to do all over again, I could definitely get it done an awful lot faster. This was a learning experience about building top-down. But over here, bad water, we've actually stuck in a second dirt excavator into the bad water section. I figure, why not? We can dig down here, make it nice and deep, and then maybe we can get some of the water out of that for later. There's things we can do to basically pump that water up. And we might need to wall in around it. You know what? Worry about it later, but this extra little pump here will give us some extra water to play around with, especially for explosives. Though we might actually end up capping one of these bad water sources. The problem is there's actually 2 of them. So what we'd really like to do is probably cap one of them and then rig the other so that we can use the rig to extract the bad water as we need it. And the other one would just cap it off so that our beavers don't have to crawl through bad water to get to it. All right, over here, what we've done is... yes, we finally got the top layer done. I wanted to get this top layer just finished off. That can go. So now that we have this done, we can concentrate on getting the bottom layer done. It's just once we've got the top layer done, we can put out the proper bridges. Floor 2 is finally complete. We're still working on floor 3 and 4, but we've got all of the second story completed. I'm thinking mass lumber. This entire thing is going to be oak. So let's focus on this, and... I'm not actually sure how much of everything we're going to need. We'll put in 1 forester to start. Actually, before we do that, look how neat that is. We've got the 4 streets meeting in the middle, and then those holes that were left, because we couldn't get the soil in there, we just stuck these little suspension bridges. So the whole thing just looks lovely and neat. Oh, maybe I should have the suspension bridge coming from the center. Maybe... yeah, that would look better if we did it in reverse. I mean, okay, it's not more efficient, but it looks cooler. Okay, bridge replaced. Forester goes there. Then a couple of lumber camps, say 1 there and 1 there. And then tree planting wise. Oop. Game tends to chug a little bit. Every so often it just locks up. I don't know if it's my PC or something with the game. Oak, the whole floor. I'm thinking, yeah, all the way through there. All the way through there. That is going to be a stupendous amount of oak. Nothing to do in range. What do you mean nothing to do in range? There's enormous amount. Oh, yeah, there's no trees yet. Okay, don't worry. Kazo, we'll get on with the planting soon. Maybe we should do a stockpile on this floor as well to store it at least intermittently or temporarily. Where's our log storage? Yeah, underground log pile. You know what? 1,000 logs I think should be enough. This will cover us and we can start deleting these forests down here, and that frees up a bunch of space to put in other things. Not that we'll need it. I think we're just going to build up and try and keep our entire civilization footprint as small as possible. Just because. Build up like a tall race instead of a wide race. Layer 2 is complete. Well, yeah. Layer 1 has been planted. It'll be a while before those oak trees are ready to harvest. Actually 75% done on one of them already. The ground floor is an absolute hot mess. It is absolutely trash. Second here. Did we plant a bunch of dynamite down there? Oh, we did too. And we couldn't get the ones 2 tiles up. Huh. I should really put a ladder up there. But yes, the downstairs will be modified shortly. We just need pine trees so that, well, we have a source of pine sap. So then the rest of this can all be kicked out. Oak is all handled by floor 2. And then floor 3, well, we're going to have 3 different plantings. One is going to be the chestnut trees. That way we can get more chestnuts. I might actually double down on those. Actually, yeah, let's immediately just chuck down a double set of chestnut trees. At the same time, we have 1 set of maple and 1 set of pine. Maple is going to give us maple syrup. We're going to combine that with grain, and that will allow us to make some sort of special pastries. The pine we're going to use for the pine sap to make boards. Top floor, we're probably going to leave empty for now, namely because most of our food is going to come from the downstairs floor. Second story is wood, third story is all of the trees that provide resources. And then the 4th story will be, well, whatever we need it for as we start, if and when we start to run short on resources. Ooh, this is a 27-day long drought. This is probably the second longest drought we've seen. And I'm thinking after this, we need to pop over here and do a quick bit of excavation. And by that, I mean double explosives all the way along here. Wall that in one tile, make a few wall-ins in here, and we're going to be able to increase the depth of this by an entire one tile and add all of this extra area here to the tank to make sure we never run out. Because our population now is about 100 beavers. That's a lot of beavers. We need to be more careful. Almost. So close to finished. And the tiered farm, whatever you call it, stacked farm. Oh, forgot about this. 1 second, I gotta blow up the dynamite here. Let's hope this doesn't cause any problems. Just double checking here. I don't think there's anything too weird going on. You know what? Detonate. Yeah, that's fine. Excellent stuff. Nothing actually fell. Actually, I should probably double check from the full view. And everything is as it was. Crops are getting their full fertilization. And down here, yeah, this guy's logging. In fact, you can also kick back in. So we'll have 2 loggers here. This should mean we'll never run out of logs again. Well, at least not for a long time. And with this now online, well, okay, it's not online. We're still going to have to wait for a few of them to kick in. The chestnuts are not here yet. The maple's not in yet. And, oh, maple's going to take ages to... You know what? No rush. But pine will be online shortly as well. Perfect. While we are waiting for that to kick in, we're going pretty deep over here. We're going to go all the way over to this section, and we're going to start expanding out our liquid tank. We want a lot more water. That way, we want to be able to effectively double our population again to 200 if at all possible. And if I have measured this correctly, yeah, we can put that there. Just precisely right there. We're expanding these out, and you can immediately, you can even set up the connections before they're finished. So, beavers can all hop off here, chop along to this section, and start producing this. Once this is up and running, ooh, actually, we're going to need 2 ways down. 1 way down to our main water tank, and 1 way down to this tank. Actually, and we should probably continue on the path as well. I'd like to have a way to blast down here and wall in that section. We got so much construction work to do over here in preparation for the next flood. Plan here, very simple. Build stairs down below the bejesus out of this entire canyon so it's 2 tiles lower. Also maybe take off some edges while we're at it. Simultaneously, we're also going to clear out this area. Anyone want to get around to that? And then we're going to seal in this area here so it can go up an extra tile. This means that when it comes to our dam, we can raise these gates another block. And we should be able to hold an entire extra tile of water on top, combined with all the extra space we're going to get when we blast through here. We still have 6.9 days left, and how much water do we have left in there? Enough, but that's still pretty low for the amount of beavers we have. We're only up to, what, we're not quite at the 100 beaver mark. In fact, we shouldn't even be at the 100 beaver mark. How many of these do we have? 99. So we can have a possible 99 beavers, and we're going to add on another 9, so we'll go up to, whatever, 108. And then we'll actually have to probably add on, well, we're going to keep going up layers. Now that was the longest drought we've experienced pretty much ever, and it almost drained our tanks. What I should be really doing now, if this was desperate, I would probably turn off this liquid pump and get all the beavers living off of our liquid supply tanks. Otherwise, we could end up with stuff drying out if this went on much longer. So this has been the main thing we've been fighting against, just never having enough water. Like, our population's at 90, well, 97. And we barely survived what's effectively the longest drought you can get. So, with this expansion here, if we can finish out the tank, I don't think it's not going to fully increase it, like, it's not going to double us, but it's going to get us close. And once we get all the way up to there, I think it definitely will double us. Oh, fresh water at last. Okay, it's flowing down nicely, though I think we're going to need to, I don't know, make a few changes here. I had some water splash over the edge here, so that could be a problem with dark water. I think we're going to have to raise this up 1 tile as well, all the way along here, just to be extra safe. But that can wait. We're almost ready to blast this. Once we get the last of these in, I want to just get a nice chunk expansion to the water tank, just so that we can make sure we've harvested everything. And you can go up to 2.9. There we go. The 2.95? Yeah, why not? Let's see if we can actually consume an entire supply of water from a single wet spell. Alright, so there is a drought approaching already in 2.9 days, and we still have not actually filled up the dam. The rainy season is not very long. Alright, we've almost, though, got enough explosives to do a little bit over, well, let's say about 2/3 of this tank. Once that's done, we can backfill the later parts as well. Okay, finally, with 1.8 days left, it's actually hit the top. Now this is why we had to put in that dam there. If we hadn't put in this one level, we'd already be over that edge. And once you guys put in those last rows of dynamite, we're going to pop this. Okay. I think we're good to detonate. Yeah, we'll just do you, we'll do you, and we'll do you. I'm pretty sure some pieces are going to be missing. Oh, yeah, you guys need to get detonated. You're on a separate grid. I don't know about you guys, but I want to make sure you all go. Perfect. Well, the drought started, but we should still get a final top-up of water. Yeah, this water is going to dry up for a second while it backfills. Then the last of the water should flow down. Oh, and I should maybe take off the pause on these guys. Perfect. All that extra storage will not go to waste. Coming up on the end of this drought. Now, this drought was only 16 days. It's not that long. We have loads of water left. Maybe... how many tiles did we go down? We went down about 2 tiles. So we could go down another 2 tiles and still have enough water left over. Meaning... we could probably, not quite double our population yet, but soon, and that's the main thing. I want to go up to 200 population as soon as possible. More beavers equals more workers. We're just going to blast out this area to give ourselves a little bit more water, and then we can get on with the industrialization tech. What I really want to do is mass produce power. So we're going to mass up a whole bunch of power, and then we're going to chuck that into a whole bunch of production. And that way we can start working on endgame goals, like maybe capping this off or building some sort of cap around this so that we can optimize the water coming out of it and maybe build a giant water tank around it. Later. For now, just want to get this all finished off. Oh, come on. That was less than a day and we're right back to drought. Doesn't matter. We got more than enough water tank to handle anything you throw at us so far. And expansion can commence. You can pop, and I think that should detonate the lot. Let's just slow it down and enjoy the explosions. Yeah, there's something therapeutic about that. Also allows us to store more water. Beautiful. I'm kind of torn between just continuing on and blasting our way forward just to get even more water, because then we don't have to come back and do this again for ages. Also, I do want to get a whole bunch more scrap in. We've sort of consumed, I think, all of our scrap. Yep. So all we've got left now is metal blocks. So we sort of should have to tap into more scrap as well. I'd like to get that mined. You know what? Water first, scrap second. I think we can take this back a whole other notch. And then we'll never have to come back and do this for, like, hopefully ages. And done. And that gives us just a little bit more storage. Beautiful. Nice. And that should make sure we don't run out of... Oh, and I'll do a little bit of explosioning back here. And that will give us just... Yeah, we'll blast that back in the background. For now, though... Oh, we're literally the opposite side of the map. Our base is over there, and we've gone sort of circularly around the map. The longest distance. Basically, we would have been better off just cutting straight through the middle. Muppet. Okay, but over here, ground floor, ripped out everything that was, you know, all the trees and all that were not necessary, and just left the farmland. So, and also put in the roads to make it look neater and matching. And then we stuck in beehives. Yes, okay. So, it turns out the beehives are a bit like all the other aura buildings. They basically cause everything to grow faster, but in layers. So literally everything in all those layers, as far as I can tell. So our multi-story farm is getting affected multiply through all levels. Though there's no farms on other levels. So theoretically what we could do is just put a farm, say, just put in these three, and then put one farm on each floor, and then all 4 farms would be affected by the beehives on the bottom floor. But it's too late for that now. We've already committed. So this entire place is now covered in beehives, and all the beavers are now getting stung. It's just a -1. They get a -1 mood for getting stung by bees. Don't really care. But what we would like to do is get into some extra foods. Now, I've been looking through all the foods, and here's my 2 cents. Carrots. Easy peasy to grow, but they only give +1 mood. Sunflower seeds take way longer to grow. Still only give +1 mood. So they're effectively the weakest. Potatoes give +2 mood, pretty handy to make. Cattails and spatterdock. You gotta put them in water. And while we do have some, it needs to be 1 tile deep. It's too much effort. I know that sounds terrible, but if you look here, they could get +2 for grilled spatterdock and +2 for cattail crackers. That's +4 points. I'm not that motivated. Bread and maple pastries are far simpler, don't require water. So I think I'm just going to go that route instead, which means we're going to need a whole lot of wheat. Wheat is one of the better crops to put down, namely because it's actually very efficient in terms of... Oh, damn it, I did not mean to put you there. In terms of tile per return, it's actually one of the best, so we're just going to stick that in there. Since potatoes are not quite as calorie efficient as carrots, that's why they have a little bit of extra space over here. But that should hopefully give us basically grilled potatoes, carrots, grilled chestnuts, wheat for bread, and wheat for maple pastries. At the same time, if we go to the second floor, you'll see we've got the maple for the maple syrup, and we've got the chestnuts for the grilled chestnuts. And done. Oh, and I put some sunflower seeds on the top floor. What's wrong with you? Building isn't connected. Oh. Inconvenient. So, turns out the location of that it can't gain access. Those bridges are mildly annoying at times. Well, I think it's time we got on with the rest of the plan. The rest of the plan is, well, industrialization. Now, I've been doing a little... Ooh. What happened there? Oh, a little bit of a push over the edge. Oh no, that's good. That means that the water tank is full to the absolute brim. Like, that is just... And then I started researching bots, and I realized we don't actually need this much water. We can expand our population massively with bots instead, which I think we're going to try that. I mean, we're definitely going to get a few more beavers because we can afford them. A lot of them. But at the same time, I want to start industrializing, and I have this theory. What if we just make this level here, this level, the level for the map? And that's going to be the ground floor for everything. So whether we blast or landfill anything that gets in our way, and just terraform everything to suit our needs. Something along those lines. So first off, let's start putting in our power train combined with production. Yeah, it'll all go in here. Let the land filling begin. We shall have to make sure... Oh, we've definitely got plenty of beavers to cram into you. We're going to fill all of this section in, and then we're going to start on it. This might take a little while. We're going to need a lot of dirt for this. Right now... Yeah, no, we got plenty of dirt coming in. We got like 800 dirt, though maybe a few more dirt mines might be in order. Minor setback. We have 24 injured beavers, so more medical beds. Turns out keeping both of those running, along with the centrifuge, or both of the mines running, the dirt mines, yeah, kind of ate into our beaver population just a little bit. They got a few nibbles of their own. All right, almost done on this, though. It soaked up a lot of dirt putting in the foundations, but if we're going with a theme, we might as well stick with it. This is about to be station level, or the ground floor of everything. And now the plan starts to come together. We're going with standardization, because, well, standardization is what you want to do. Now, these are your basic wind turbines. We could have went with the more advanced ones. These ones here, in fact, let's just unlock those. The problem with them is they're 5 tiles tall. So that extra tile I don't want to deal with. Reason being is, well, the 4 tile ones will fit well, beside these guys, or they'll stay on the same level as their farms. So our farms and our wind turbines and our industry will all work inside these sort of 5-tile high builds or 4-tile high builds. And that way, second, what we can do is just cover this up like so. And then we can cover it up the other side as well. And those wind turbines will work just fine. Height has no bearing on how much power they generate. Also, walling them in. You can encase them. They don't care. The wind magic in this game. Oh, and the water is magic too. There's a lot of suggestions to cover the water tank, as in covered in dirt or seal it in so that the water can't evaporate. That's not how the game calculates it. The game, like the sun, just penetrates through everything. It doesn't matter if the water's on top of the dirt or sealed in a subterranean cavern deep down as you can get it. The water will just still evaporate. So covered or uncover, still no benefit. The joy of having them all at the same height is this can act as a stairs for the beavers to get in and out. And also we've stuck in a stairs over here. And we've got 1-tile high stairs over here, 2-tile high stairs over here. We've got this organized so that we should be able to just cram everything we want inside these things. Ooh, at the same time, let me just go up a little. Let me go up to the top level for a second. I want to show you some of the other benefits of going all the way up. This might take a minute, but hey, if you want to make an omelet, you got to break a few eggs. And ooh, we should probably bring up the power spine as well. Okay, I'm running out of time, so I just kind of want to go through what I'm trying to do here without making it sound too stupid or crazy. So basically what we're doing is we're building boxes. Each box is 4 tiles high, and then it's covered in a layer of dirt, and it's supported on all sides by these frames. So effectively, we're just going to extend this frame onwards. Now this half over here, if we zoom in, is basically just wind turbines, a bunch of them, and they're all hooked up to this power spine. This power spine just goes up, and up and up and up and up all the way to the top of the map. Now, I've only put in a couple of wind turbines here just to sort of, or windmills here just to sort of demonstrate where they're going to be. But effectively, we should be able to fit in, say, 5 wind turbines on each level, but we're going to extend this out. Make that 11 wind turbines on each level. That means with the 4 levels combined, we should have 44 wind turbines. Thing is, we're going to need power storage for that, and to fit it in nice and conveniently, well, we'll just stick these up here. We should be able to stick them all along there and all the way to the edge. Like, we'll just stick in one for now. And that's hooked up to the power spine through here. What we've done is this power spine replaces one of the wind turbines, and that means we can put these stairs. These stairs are, like, the pathing for this was an absolute nightmare. You guys, have you actually finished that? Why have you not built that thing? I have it zoomed in a level. All right. So, this power spine here is basically able to provide power to all of these wind turbines, or they can dump power onto the power spine, and then all these ones over here are connected through this one there. So this way, all of these can also give it to that power spine, and then that flows the whole way up to the top of the map. So as we go up, we'll do the same thing on this floor, and then when we get to the very, very, very tippy top, what we can do is we can do the same thing. We just move the path over 1 tile, and that way all the beavers can get up here to service these, build them, place them wherever we want. And once we get in the first 44, and say about, I don't know, 7 or 8 of these gravity batteries, we can start putting in the industry. And the industry will go inside the exact same box. This is actually, it's beautiful. Look at this. It's a lumber mill. You can place a lumber mill, let's put that right there. Or, no, what? We'll put 1 lumber mill there. You put 2 or 3 in a line, we can feed in the power from one of these, and boom, it's connected in on the spine. Then what we can do is, on the opposite side of that, we can stick in gear workshops. And then boom, boom, boom. Gear workshops fit in nice and neat. Large warehouses. Well then, so long as we put them on this side, it shouldn't be a problem. We can stack 2 of them under the roof, and as well as that, we've got this little walkway up here, which means as long as we extend this on, which we will be to put the roof over it, everyone will be able to get to the 2nd level. And just every so often, we'll have to put in these stair systems so that people can get up and down. And then, oh, yeah, we have the underground pile. Well, on the ground floor, we can definitely use them. And in the upper floors, what we can do is we can put in some blocks of dirt if we really need to. So it's possible to use those as well. Also, bigger things like the smelters, we can stick those in, and then behind them we can chuck in things like, oh, the grist mill or something like that. Yeah, like the grist mill can go in there, or there's other stuff. So we should be able to sandwich just about everything we need, and we'll have 4 stories to work with. So we should be able to cram in most of our industry in this section, and then have about 100 wind turbines combined with, I don't know, 20 or 30 gravity batteries. We'll have to actually do that by feel. And that should give us all the industry we need, and all on this lovely, convenient like every 4 tiles level. In fact, this is reminding me more and more of Oxygen Not Included. 4 tile high, building everything inside it, blocks leaving the natural blocks in. Yeah. Anyway, took me way too long to get all of this done. I think we've actually got too much water for the bots we're about to spawn, and I gotta cut this out here and hope you enjoyed. Good luck.